In this video, I'll be talking about some of the games I played this month, January 2017. I'm going to be talking about games I started this month as opposed to just all the games I've been playing, because I'm still playing some games from last year, like Final Fantasy 15, and I restarted Skyrim, foolishly. But we won't get into that, we're going to talk about new games. So this is Stardew Valley. And saying new games, Stardew Valley came out last February 2016, it came out on PC. But it came out on PS4 in December, and I started playing it at the start of this month, and I saw a few people playing it on Twitch, and I thought, okay, that looks interesting. So, if you're familiar with Harvest Moon, then Stardew Valley will... It's the same game. It's a homage, it's a fromage to Harvest Moon, where you get a plot of land, or you inherit a plot of land from your grandfather, and you farm it, and you get the farming things, vegetables and fruit and milk from your cows and eggs from your chickens and stuff, and you sell it and you make money and use that money to upgrade your farm so you can farm more things and sell them and make money and upgrade and so on and so on. The vicious cycle, that tickles the kind of gamer thing of trying to do everything, trying to collect everything. So it has got this kind of like insidious gameplay to it, in that you're building your crops, or you're farming your crops, you're growing your crops, whatever, and obviously that takes time. It takes however many days to grow a pumpkin or whatever, so you're waiting around and you do all your farming stuff at the start of the day, plant all your crops or water them or whatever, and then you've got time to do something else, so you'll go check out the mysterious mines, and now you're okay, now I need to know what's at the end of the mines. Or you start fishing and you're like, okay, I need to catch bigger fish. Or you start talking to the townspeople and you're like, okay, this townsperson is really nice, and you're like, oh, I can have a relationship with these people, and you're like, okay, so now I'm pursuing one of the town's women, all of the town's women, and you just keep doing these things. Okay, now it's the end of the day, wake up, are my crops ready? Some of them are, some of them are not. Okay, I'm gonna go sell these ones and get some new crops, or I'm gonna take on a quest, or I'm gonna go see what Penny is up to, or whatever. And it just keeps going on like that. And then even the saving system. So the saving system only saves at the end of the day, or at the start of the next day, whatever way you want to look at it. And you go outside your house to see what's happened. Have my crops grown? And if they haven't, okay, I'm gonna start watering them, and now I'm gonna check on the chickens, and I'm gonna check on the cow, or I'm gonna cut down some trees to make some more space, and then all of a sudden you've started a new day. And you're like, no, I actually wanted to go to sleep. And I was like, well, shit, now I'm playing the game again. Okay, I gotta get through the next day and save. I've made too much progress. So this is why I haven't really played anything else. I'm just fucking playing this all the time, and I'm not even entirely sure why. But it's super chill, there's loads to do, it's not very taxing, but it's very satisfying. I can't really explain it. I like it, even though I don't really play these kind of games, but this one I do like. Give it a go, if you dare. Gravity Rush 2. Gravity Rush 2 came out 18 January, and is a sequel to Gravity Rush 1, if the title didn't give it away. So, the game is about this character, Kat, who can control the direction gravity is pointing in, if you like. As in, you can decide the gravity is pointing up and you'll fall into the sky, or you can decide it's pointing left and you'll fall left, or you can decide it's at a weird angle on the ground and it lets you slide along the ground. Which is basically an excuse for you to just fly around the world, which is the best part of the game. Just flying around in the environment, just putting yourself in weird positions. It just feels good to move around, which it did in the original game. The real update here is that it's running on PS4, and the original ran on the PS Vita. So there's a big bump in processing power, obviously, so they can do a lot more. So they can put a lot more on screen, they can make the environments a lot more varied. You can just do a lot more. That's That's all you're really looking for. But any complaint you had with the original Gravity Rush, you're going to have in this one as well. Combat still not great. Story missions also still not great. Though the story is interesting, it's just the missions themselves not so much. I don't think they do enough with the central gimmick. But just flying around is the best part, and that's what I spend most of my time doing. I like the first game. I think this is just a improvement on it. It's better. And you wouldn't necessarily have had to have played the first game. The story kind of departs from it. They haven't alluded to it yet. I haven't finished the game. I'm only about 2 or 3 hours into it, so I don't know. Maybe they do bring it back, but right now it seems to be about this new world you're in and this kind of class inequality thing going on. You've got the poor people all the way down at the bottom of the map and the rich people all the way at the top of the map. And they're not getting along, as you might imagine. Actually, that is one thing to point out. The map, because you can go in pretty much any direction you want, the map is very vertical, as opposed to being very flat, which is what you find in most open world games. So to make up for, or not to make up for, make the most of Cat's powers, you can go all over the place. Fall down and end up in Slum Town, or you can fall all the way up into the sky and you'll end up in like Mount Olympus looking things. Anyway, I've been playing it a bit, not as much as I'd like. Some other games are taking up a lot of my time, but I really like Gravity Rush 1, even with its problems. Combat here, you can see it's all very tight, and there's not a whole lot of variance to it. You kind of just do this big super kick, and you get away with it. But that's not why you play Gravity Rush. You play Gravity Rush because you can do this kind of shit. There aren't too many games that just let you fly around the place, you know? And the ones that do aren't very good. So, this nails it. This is particularly strange coming from the team Project Siren, which made horror games. And this is all nice and vibrant and kind of neo-French kind of thing. Anyway, give it a go. It's pretty good so far. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, right. So I only got this game a few days ago, at time of recording. So I haven't played much of it. I played about an hour. And this is all footage from the very start of the game, so I'm hopefully not spoiling anything for you. If you are worried about it though, feel free to jump to the next section. This game is very heavy story, and the opening is actually like very, very well done. So if you do want to go in fresh, I understand. You can come back later. But if you're still with me, I haven't been this excited for a Resident Evil game in quite a while. Even going back to the E3 reveal, where like, nobody knew it was Resident Evil. They were showing a trailer for this first-person horror, grimy thing, and then bam, right at the end, it's Resident Evil 7. You're like, oh shit! And you see those reaction videos, you know, like obviously faked kind of reaction videos, way over the top. But I like almost legitimately had that kind of reaction when the title came up. So if you're worried about Resident Evil going to its first-person view and thinking it's going to change anything, it doesn't. This is Resident Evil. This is the Resident Evils 1, 2 Nemesis. But from a first-person point of view. It's the same idea. It's a spooky house, spooky things going on, limited saves, weird puzzles, guns, herbs, maps, locked doors. It's got everything, and on top of that, it's got a really intriguing story. Particularly going from the opening. As I said now, I've only played an hour, maybe a bit more. But what I've seen so far is very compelling. I really want to play more of it. It's got this interesting, I don't want to say gimmick exactly, but you can watch video footage that you find in the house, and you watch these guys. This is from the demo, by the way. It's in the main game as well, but this isn't new. This is from the demo. And they will show you kind of secrets in the house, like things they found when they were there, and then you can use that to kind of further your own progress. It's a very interesting way of doing it, because you also know, this being a horror game, your character with the possible exception of some games, you know you're kind of going to make it to the end. As I said, I haven't finished the game, so I don't know if that's true. This is my own opinion. But these characters in like the video flashbacks, if you like, you know they're expendable, you know? So it's got that kind of dread to it. I mean, the main game has plenty of dread. I'm going back to that old Resident Evil, I don't want to walk outside of the save room kind of thing, because I don't know what's outside. And, you know, you haven't had that since Nemesis. Because you've obviously been, like, superhero since Resident Evil 4 or 5, 6. And every other Resident Evil since has obviously been a lot more than 7. So I don't want to say too much about it right now. What I will say is I'm really enjoying it. And also really scared all at the same time. I've played a bit of it in VR. I do have the PSVR, so I played a bit. I lasted about 2 minutes and before, you know, the skin on the back of my neck wanted to lift off my body and run out of the room. It's so different when it's in VR. I think I'm going to try and finish the game regular first, you know, with the TV separating us. And then we'll see. But yeah, probably more next month.
Shouldn't have come here.
This is footage from Nioh, which had a trial weekend this month. Can't remember what the dates were. The game isn't actually out yet. It's not out till February at some stage. So the easiest way to describe this game is Dark Souls, but ancient or mythical Japan. Ancient mythical Japan, I guess. Dark Souls, but samurai. It's the easiest way to describe it, but it's not really fair to describe it that way. It's got the same basic gameplay as Dark Souls in that combat is very tough. It's like very heavy animation-based, timing-based. But the combat system is a lot deeper. There's a lot more going on. Obviously, this is still pre-game, so these things could change. But so you've got stances for one. So you've got different stance changes. You can see in the bottom right. I'm in a low stance here for fighting this guy because he's close to the ground. And then you've obviously got mid stance, high stance, and then sword in the scabbard kind of stance, or VI strikes, Riaido strikes. Okay. But yeah, it's still, I mean, I found it very hard anyway. I've never played the Souls games. Like, I've never played Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. I've watched them be played. I've never actually played them myself. So this is my first kind of gameplay-wise, just getting into this kind of system. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tense. But it's good. I like it. So this game is made by Team Ninja, who made the Ninja Gaiden series, which is another game that's known for being very, very hard. This game is also still very hard. You can see like 1 attack, 2 attacks from this guy and I'm dead. But as I said, the game has a lot going for it. So it's got the stance system, but it's also got a key system. So you can see on my stamina bar, I wait for me to actually attack. Let me get out of this corner. Alright. Now when I attack, you see the stamina bar go down, as it does in Souls games. And you see it has a secondary recovery bar. If you do what they're calling a key pulse, while that bar is up, you will get more stamina back than you normally would. Which is obviously very different to Dark Souls. It's kind of similar, I suppose, in Bloodborne in that you can get health back in the same kind of idea, but in this case it's stamina. So I've done something very foolish here, and that I've triggered 2 enemies, and I'm opting to use a weapon I've never used before, which is this kind of weighted ball on a chain with a cam on the end of it. And now I have a 3rd enemy, so things are going very well. That was a good move. That was clutch. I'm glad I did that. So yeah, probably not the best time to break out a weapon I've never used before, but anyway. Oh. So I've played, there've been an alpha, a beta, and now this trial run of Nioh. The alpha had kind of this horrible durability system for the weapons that they got rid of for the beta, and that's good that they got rid of it. The beta, I can remember that you could do your key pulse while you were dodging. At least I remember doing it. It mightn't be true, but I remember doing it. But that's gone from this trial, which isn't great. Or at least I don't think it's great. But I mean, the game is a lot of fun, despite being very tense. And this is the boss of the trial, which I did not do very well against. You'll see here in a minute. There should be a video up on the channel though, where of the full boss fight. I did beat her eventually. It took a few goes. This is not this one time. So this is my video for January. If you like this, I'm going to do a similar one for February and so on. I'm going to see if I can make it a monthly thing, and I might add in, you know, games that I'm still playing. So I could add in Final Fantasy. This Nioh will obviously make an appearance because it comes out next month. Resident Evil, I'll probably still be playing that. So I might add them in as a secondary thing, or like a spoilery section, I guess, later areas of the game. I don't know. This is only the first video and my first death, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. These are the games of January 2017.